Blog Talk Radio.
Always look up, never give up, and you will reach your goals. You're important, you're more than enough. And here she is, your host for Rolling with the Diva, Sabrina Williams. Thank you.
Hello from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Sabrina. I am just so glad that you guys tuned in. Oh my God, it's July 30th. Only one more day till the end of the month. It has been a great birthday month. I'm thinking about making August another birthday month. I'll see who I can talk into let me celebrate my birthday in August. Probably nobody. It is a strange weather we're having here in Nevada. It's 104, but it sort of kind of feels a lot cooler, and looks like it's going to rain. 1 minute it looks like it's rain. 1 minute it looks like God, I don't know what's going to happen to the weather, to be honest with you. But today we are having another panel, and today's panel is focusing on mental health and how that manifests itself for some people. We're going to talk about some positive ways of coping with that and where to seek help at in your country, your county. We have on the line with us Dr. Linda and Miss Vera, who are going to be our panel experts for today. They come with a lot of experience and knowledge, and so let's welcome them to the line.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Miss
Hello.
Linda. Hi,
Hello.
Miss Vera. Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing awesome today. Life is great. Life is good. So, we are going to start with a song because I am driving my son home and will be home in about 1 minute. So, but before we do that, we want, if you guys could just tell everybody where you're calling from. We'll start with Miss Vera and where they can find you at on the social media.
Yes, I'm Vera Harris. I'm the author of and owner of Happy Reading by Vera, and I am calling from Forney, Texas. It's 30 miles east of Dallas, Texas. And you can find me on social media on my website and my fan page, as well as Instagram and Twitter. My website is Happy Reading by Vera. If you Google or type in Happy Reading by Vera, it will take you to all my links, and my links are Twitter, LinkedIn, my website, and my fan page on Facebook. So I'm not that hard to find. As long as you type in Happy Reading by Vera, you'll be able to link up to all my other websites, my other social media links.
Nice. Dr. Linda?
Okay, I'm Dr. Linda MUBARAK, and I'm calling from Fort Worth, Texas. I am a retired educator and an author of 4 books. 3 of them are children's books. You can find me online at www.lindamubarak.com. If you go to Facebook, you can just type in Stations for Kids, and my page will it will pop up for you. I'm also a veteran, like Ms. Vera, and she and I talked today, and we were talking about the urgency now with, I guess, with not just regular civilians, but the veteran population is having some serious situations now. We're losing 20 veterans a day to suicide. And
hold on, Dr. Linda. We're going to come back and talk about that because I want to play a song because I think this song, No Boundaries, be to set the stage for just letting everybody know that this is by Sheila, Miss Sheila. She wrote the song. But sometimes, especially when it comes to mental health or mental illness or trying to keep yourself well or even knowing where to get help, sometimes you just feel like you have no boundaries, but you just letting you guys know you do, and I thought this song would be a really appropriate song, so we'll be right back.
Good to me, yeah. Lord, you've been real good to me.
All right, that was Miss Sheila, and I just want to talk real quick before we get into this. There's a thing of that that they talk about this at the military. We have soldiers that they say it's actually an organization, and they say it's about 22 soldiers a day in the United States that come to suicide. In the article, they're saying that some of the context of it is that it's a statistic number, but there's a lot of factors that go on with that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But the suicide, we are going to keep to another show because I'm actually doing a show on military and on first responders. Because military, this is how I've been talking to a couple of people. The military, the police, the fire, child protective services, even a hospital, nurses, doctors, social workers, and psychologists, and psychiatrists are the second responders. But those are first responders. Military, I think, carries the biggest load as being the first responders because they're on call and have a 3-year minimum commitment. Some commit their whole life to protect the United States. So they are our first line responders. Then there comes the police department and the fire department. This is not my statistic. This is a statistic from a group I'll be working with. Right now we have 40% of first responders, and we consider those police, fire, medical staff that have alcoholic drinking, and the suicide rates are high with them. So with that being said, I do want to allow Dr. Linda and Miss Vera to comment on that, but we're not going to go really in depth because when you talk about suicide, it's a lot of factors that go with it, and I want to make sure that I have all information and numbers to give everybody for places that they can call. Go ahead, Dr. Linda and Miss Vera. Who wants to go first?
Well, I think I'd like to hear from Miss Vera. She spent 30 years in the military, so she knows. So I'd like to hear from Vera.
Okay, thank you. Yes, PTSD. It can occur. It doesn't matter if you whatever branch of services, the 5 services that we have currently. It does not matter which service you're in. But if you experience, if a soldier if they experience any type of shocking or dangerous event, then during their lifetime, it will cause post-traumatic stress disorder, commonly referred to as PTSD. And it's not rare. There's about 6 out of every man or woman, about 60%, and 5 of every 10 women, which is about 50%, experience trauma in their lives while serving in the military. Women, unfortunately, are more likely to experience sexual assault, child sexual abuse, piled onto the fact that they're serving in the military. And the main reason that there is a military is to protect and defend. So you will go to war, not just come in to get an education. You will go to war. And if you go to war, you will experience some type of trauma during the time you serve. Irregardless of reserve, National Guard, it does not matter. But if you was exposed to any type of trauma, any type of injury, you are more likely to develop post-traumatic stress disorder. Just some facts that I do want to say based on the U.S. population only. About 7 or 8 out of every 100 people will have PTSD at some point in their lives. And about 8 million adults will have PTSD during a given year. It's just a small portion of those who have gone through some type of trauma that has not even came forward. They're just living with it in silence. And about 10 of every 100 women will have some type of post-traumatic stress disorder compared to men. As you know, if you're in the military, you will see combat, and you will be exposed to horrible and life-threatening experiences. And all of that can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder. Just about everyone that comes back from any type of conflict, whether it was World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the first Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq, it does not matter if you went to any of those type of situations, if you were put in any of those type of situations, environments, you are more likely to come back with post-traumatic PTSD. Sometimes it's not easy to determine if you have it because sometimes you don't want to believe that that it is occurring. That's why it's important, I think, as a vet to make sure that, and the military does a great job, maybe not 100%, but they do a great job in identifying those folks that have went in harm's way and came back there. As soon as they return, they are screened to find out if that did occur. And a lot of times it occurs while you're there on the battlefield. And their job, the leader's job, is to get that person away from that environment so they can start treating them immediately so they can be able to continue with their life, whether it's in the military or back as a civilian. That I just wanted to share that. But a lot of women, because of sexual abuse that don't get reported, a lot of women will experience PTSD sexually if they were sexually abused, and just by being a person that just by serving in combat. And sometimes it don't have to be combat. You can experience a traumatic event if you at the firing range, for example, and maybe something goes wrong at the firing range when the soldiers go out and qualify on a firing range. You could experience it when you're training to go to war. Something could go wrong, but it is a event, some type of trauma that occurs and that would cause your body to be in shock, or you were put in dangerous harm's way. And when that happened to you, you kind of think your life, well, you do, you think that your life or the life of others are in danger. And so that trauma is not rare. It will occur. But there, hopefully, maybe it's not 100%, but hopefully that we as the American society have doctors and have all the resources that we can get people in so they can be treated, so they can live a long life without the stresses that PTSD will cause. If you have a good support group, a good family, family and friends that will help you to live with PTSD.
Wow, that's good advice. Sabrina and Vera, I'm thinking about my father. He was World War II vet. And while he was in France, he contacted meningitis.
Yes.
And he was isolated for a month. He told me, he said, Linda, I was isolated a month from my whole unit because during that time they really didn't know what they were, dealing with, so they treated him as best they could. But one of the things, too, that I remember about my father and even other guys who served maybe like in World War I, World War II, or even in Korea, they didn't talk. There was not a lot out there for them then, and a lot of them just, they kept it inside. They kept it with them. I used to go to the mental health clinic here in Fort Worth with my father. He was 70%. He worked at the post office for years, but I still know as I gotten older, I realize now there were some things that happened in World War II about. People share things now. They didn't share things then.
Right.
They kept it all. When the men came back, the men kept it. He told me about some things he went through, but my brother and I talked, and we realized now there were some things we were never told. He thought he broke out in some kind of skin disorder. Also, they thought he had cancer. They treated him at that time. He was treated with cobalt. I didn't know that until he talked about it one day. I said, cobalt? He said, yeah. He said, that's what they treated me with then.
Right.
He said that was all they knew, and that was what they did. If he told me those tough pieces like that, there's some more things that he never shared. Because
Dr. Linda?
me and yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on 1 second. We're going to, real quick, I just want to go to a commercial because I have now sponsors. We are here today with the Posh People with, oh my gosh, I left her thing. They're Posh People. I'm sorry, I'm like looking at the street, making sure nobody hits me. But the Posh People are samples that I got in the mail, and her name is Valerie, and she can be found on my page and Facebook. But she sent me some samples, and I'm going to talk about the first one, which is a hand cream called the Social Butterfly, and that stuff is the bomb. It actually, I've put it on early this morning because I wanted to be able to tell you guys about, because I only used it twice now, and so I want to tell you guys about it. And I used it, and that stuff kept my hands soft. And I wash my hands a lot because I'm like OCD since I've worked for the county, washing my hands like every few minutes working with kids. So we'll talk more about her products, but I just wanted to bring that in. And then go ahead, Dr. Linda. We're going to come back to you.
Okay, I think back now when I think about being a kid, and my father, when we lived in Waco, my father used to have complete, total meltdowns. Now, remember, he's working full-time at the post office now. He would pack his clothes, and I didn't tell my brother about this until about a month ago. He would pack his clothes, put it in a little box, and he would say, Ruby, you and Linda Faye will be okay. I bought enough food to last for a week or two. He would drive to the Marlin, Texas, VA, a facility, and Vera knows where it is. At that time, that was the one that was centrally located in Central Texas. The one that they built in Waco didn't come until years later. Daddy would go check himself in at the VA hospital. Sometimes he would stay there a week. Sometimes he would stay there 2 weeks. When he came back, he was fine. He was calmed down. I looked at some medicine that he was taking about a year before he passed. And I looked at it, I said, Daddy, this medicine here, I said, this is antipsychotic. He said, everything I take them to say is antipsychotic. I said, well, what is this one right here? It has a different name. He said, that's Librium. I said, but Daddy, it has another name. He said, I've been taking these drugs from the VA for over 40 years. I know what I'm taking. I just looked at him. He was that sharp on his medication. He knew what he was taking. He knew what to take and what not to take. But whatever happened to him in World War II, in Germany, in France, wherever he was, he did not discuss everything. And the same thing happens here with our vets and also with our, civilians. People sometimes have trouble dealing with the fact that, you know what, I have a problem. So you know what they do, Vera, you know what they do, Sabrina. They self-medicate. They smoke a little dope. They drink a little beer. You know what I'm saying? I've even had some of them say, Linda, I can't take the medication. It's too strong. They don't stick with the medication long enough for them to get it regulated. Sometimes, they have to give you a different dosage until they can figure out what your needs are. Sometimes people get so frustrated with themselves and their condition, they stop taking the meds and they self-medicate. So that's another problem. And the stigma of having
or
mental
sometimes,
illness.
Or sometimes the doctors, because I know it took them almost 3 years to get my medications right, and I would stay on them for 3 to 4 months at a time. And finally I said, you're not doing anything. They just said, just keep trying. I don't know. Sometimes the doctors themselves, the psychiatrists or psychologists will say, no, it's fine, and because they don't want to change it, because they're going to have to go through their issues. And I hear doctors say, they say, oh, you know what? It's a DEA problem. We can't give you that, or we can't do this. And I'd be like, okay. And I fought for myself. Some people don't do that, and so it's what we call a co-occurring disorder. When we are trying to, as substance abuse counselors, this is one thing I'll be doing in my substance internship, is asking people, okay, we're not judging you, but what other medications, or actually sometimes herbs, just so people know. There's a whole thing about CBD oil out there. There's CBD oil, and I'm just going to run this running joke. As far as everybody's concerned, CBD oil is better than sex, okay? It'll help you with sex. It'll help you with your hair growth, everything. What people don't know is that CBD oil should never, ever be used for people who have depression. Never, ever. And I'm like, okay, it's good for your anxiety, but it's not good for your depression. So when people come into our offices and we're doing the internships with people and we're being supervised, our supervisors are asking us, make sure you find out, are they taking alcohol with this medicine? Have they stopped taking the medicine like you just said? And are they mixing it with like some herbs, or are they using some prescription? That's a big thing. They'll have like, oh, here, just take mine. Your medication is set at your weight. If you're truly telling your weight, it's set at your weight, your thing. So sometimes the doctors are they don't want to hear it because they have so many patients. Or especially in Nevada, we have regular doctors who actually can prescribe certain medications for depression and for anxiety, and they may just be giving a generic form that some people shouldn't be taking. So that's just a little piece of information. Go ahead and keep going, you guys.
But I just want to say that there are some natural herbs that you can take, but you and I know the natural herb, it takes longer for them to settle into your body. Now, the commercial drugs, synthetic drugs, they're in your system just bang right away. But a lot of people, like I said, they pull away from them because they're so strong, they cannot function with them. They'll say, Linda, I can't take it. If I take it, I'm stumbling all day. And I said, well, did you talk to the doctor? He says, well, the doctor says, same thing you said, Sabrina, you need to stick with this until we can figure out what your best dosage is. They get so frustrated, they either stop going to the doctor or they don't go. I do know one thing about any type of mental illness. You must be in therapy. You must have a support group. You must take your medication, ongoing, lifelong things. Sometimes culturally, some people actually think they can pray it away. You cannot pray away mental illness. You can't pray it away. Mental illness is what it is. You need that ongoing support system. You need your meds, and you need ongoing counseling when you have those days or those times in life when things just don't seem right. But I remember years ago, I'll say this and I'll stop. I taught a 14-year-old. I taught kids who were emotionally disturbed. There's another group of kids I taught. She was 14. She had been on Prozac for 3 years. Personally, I had some questions about her being on Prozac, but let me tell you, you should have seen her when she wasn't on it. Am I making sense here? She was sharp girl. Most of the kids that I taught that were bipolar, every one of them was gifted. That's one thing I can say about being bipolar. You have other gifts that are all, to me, it's almost like a replacement. In other words, you may have this talent, but you've got another gift somewhere. Every kid that I can remember I taught over those 35 years that was emotionally disturbed and bipolar, let me tell you, they were sharp in other ways. Yeah. It is not a death sentence, but you have to learn how to manage it. And in most cases, if somebody knows that you're bipolar, they also know you've got another gift going on too. It hasn't failed me yet. I've seen it in every kid, every adult that I've met that was bipolar. They had another gift. Sometimes it was hidden. Sometimes they knew it. Sometimes they didn't know it. But mental illness is not a death sentence. It's just like dyslexia, like we talked about the other day on the other program. It's not a death sentence. You just have to learn how to manage it. And there are ways, but you need your support system with you. You need to take your meds, and you need to not be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, you can come down too hard on yourself. You know, with any illness, you really can. So I'll stop here. Mm-hmm.
No. That's good, because sometimes people don't really realize that they have PTSD, because the symptoms, they may not even appear until several months or even years later.
That's right.
Yeah. And then eventually, some people start experiencing nightmares or flashbacks or and anything that they get to they start avoiding places that they used to go to, activities that they used to do, because it probably will remind them of that trauma event. And then they'll start having, they'll experience not being able to sleep at night, feeling jumpy all the time, and
agitated, very agitated.
Yes. But it is controllable with medicine,
yes,
and like you say, with a support group, whatever the doctor, the different agencies that the doctor will help you with on your team.
Oh, yeah.
So you can manage and live
guys, I'm back.
life.
Sorry about that. My phone actually cut off, like literally cut me off the show.
Oh.
So I apologize for
Okay.
that. But you guys did a great job. You guys kept talking. Real quick, we already talked about bipolar, but a couple of people had asked me to tell them what is PTSD. If you weren't listening in the beginning, seeing if I can bring this back up again, the page.
Okay.
My phone literally cut me out. And I was like, I was talking to myself. But before I do that, I want to talk to you guys about Pretty. She's on Instagram. She is the person who sent me. Her name is Paul, and she sent me. Valerie, who sent me the products from Posh People. They have Cackle Spackle, with face cleansing cream. This is awesome. Talking about social butterfly. Okay, this is the thing that I really was my favorite item of everything was Silk Better Soon. It was a big bath.
Sabrina.
Yeah.
Sabrina, can you hear me? Sabrina?
I can hear.
Okay, you're still cut. I can barely hear you. You're still cutting out in spurts.
Yes.
It's not a continuous spurt. It's just every 2 or 3 seconds, you cut out completely.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's not clear. Okay. That's better. Okay.
Yes, I'm not on speaker now. Let me go back to Pretty Hippie. The Feel Better Soon bar is an actually great bath bar, and I'm going to tell you guys, when I use that, my skin, and this is not just saying it for her, my skin actually felt super, super clean. Like, I had to look at my skin and say, oh, my God, I, was walking around all day like I was, and I looked like I was sparkling, too. So that's Pretty Hippie. You can find her on Instagram, and her name is Valerie, and tell her the Diva sent you. Real quick about...
Okay.
Hold on a second. I hope it pops up. Okay, I'm going to read. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's better.
Okay, so we were earlier. I just want to make sure we clarify for people. PTSD can lead to risk of suicide. Post-traumatic stress disorder can occur following a life-threatening, as Ms. Vera said, events like the military combat, natural disasters, terrorist incidents, serious accidents, or violent personal assaults like rape. Most survivors of trauma return to normal given a little time. However, some people have stress reactions. I lost the thing. Have stress reactions that don't go away on their own or may even get worse over time. These individuals may develop PTSD. People who suffer from PTSD often suffer from nightmares, flashbacks, difficulty sleeping, and feeling emotionally numb. Day to day, they deal with it as they come. If you're suffering from PTSD or know someone who has the following list of symptoms, then please, you can, the VA, just like Ms. Vera said, the VA has a PTSD program locator, and if you're in crisis, you can call 911, or here's a toll-free number, especially for PTSD. It's 800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255. And I'm just going to stick to the part because we talk mainly about VET, but that you can call that number, and this was on military.com. And I just wanted to just bring that to everybody's attention. And now we're going to switch back to, because we were talking about, and PTSD is a mental illness, but again, you're not confined to a mental illness. It's not a death sentence. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to emphasize what Dr. LYNDA said about that mental illness. It does not mean that you don't have faith and because you get help. I heard a radio show yesterday. I'm not going to even mention the name of the show, but I was a little appalled when the person said that mental illness was a sin. And mental illness is not a sin. Mental illness is not a sin. I truly believe that Jesus went through oppression when he chose to get up on the cross for our sins. His head bled, literally bleed the blood, had drops of blood. He was distressed. There were times when he went away, it went away by himself, and he went away in the mountains and was tempted by Satan for 40 days. I don't think, and I have to wager on the fact that I'm right, I don't think Jesus was considered a sin. I think that people have their moments in time where things happen, and just like Ms. Vera said and Dr. LYNDA, you need to have a support system, you need to have a backup plan, and you need to know what works for you. For instance, this weekend, the beginning of the weekend, I was having a lot of anxiety, and I realized my anxiety was due to and I know people I finally had to write it yesterday because I'm going to tell the story. I told this to my one friend. Nobody knew this story before today. One of my friends didn't even know it. The reason that I do not like people calling me sister, it's not because I'm antisocial or don't like my race or don't like anything. It's because of some of the things that have occurred with me as a child and as I grew up. And every time I hear that, it sends me back to those moments in time. So so let me give you guys the stories. And these first three are unfortunately related around black churches. I went to church with my friends at college, and I took my friends to churches, and each time I was told I was an outcast, Jesus didn't love me, and that I would never be a good person in Christ and never part of anybody's family as a sister of Christ because I didn't dress right, I didn't talk right, because I did not believe in the fact that because I had a limp, that Jesus could heal me instantly. Because he didn't, because I had a limp, because it's because of a physical ailment that happened. That was one thing. Then I went to another church. Didn't happen to be black, happened to be white. I was the perfect person, and of course I was known as Sister Sabrina, the good girl. That's what they called me. Until one day I had an abortion, and then I became the most evil, vile person, and I was no longer people's sister. So when people use the term sister or call me outside of my name, I just literally have flashbacks to those times in my life. Not meaning everybody will do that, but I've just gone with just call me my name so I don't have to associate you with a bad experience in my life. Does that make sense?
Sabrina, that's what we call triggers. Those are your triggers. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you can have triggers, and you don't have to be mentally ill. Anybody can have triggers. Somebody can say something, and it will happen like a post. I did a post that I love. I put it on my page, and it says, the afternoon knows what the morning never considered. I cry when I read it because it reminds me of my parents. It's a trigger. So even though I have it posted, and I think Vera has seen it, I'm going to have to take it down because I don't need to cry every time I look at a poster that I posted. In other words, if you know what sets you off in life, the people around you should avoid that, and you should avoid being around those people or those circumstances because the same emotion is going to come back up again. Those are triggers.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell people, and because there was more things that I'm not sharing yet on the show, that some of those things were related behind people violating me that were people that of situations that use the word sister, and they shouldn't have been using those words in that situation. So there's a whole bunch of factors. So now I just tell people, you know what? I have a name. I have not, like somebody told me, you really need to get over it. No, I don't actually, because I'm just going to require you to call my name or don't hang with me. because I mean, and that's just the bottom line, and so people have to understand. That's the first time I've shared that with people, because I know people, when I wrote my post this weekend, I really connotate the term that people use my name for. And now today, and especially with, and I'm finishing up 3 chapters on that, especially with social media, that right now, and the things that's happening with women on social media, I just want people to call me by my name, because there's so much drama associated with people messaging you in the inbox and how they treat you and the words you use. So I just want to point out to people that exactly like Mr. said, they can be triggers. You guys have some, I don't know if that's me with the feedback, but there's something going on in the background on one of our phones.
That's some background noise. We can hear it, but we can still hear you. We can still hear you. I like what you said. That's also a form of respect, Sabrina. You are supposed to, by common courtesy, you're supposed to call people what they want to be called. That's common courtesy. I've had people say, Linda, do you want me to call you doctor, or do you want me to call you, what do you want? I say, you can call me Linda Faye. I'm not offended. Some people are. I have friends who have doctorates. If you don't call them doctor, they are ready to take you down. I don't know why. I don't require that much. I'm a very simple person. But it depends on the person's status, how they feel. I don't know what they went through when they were younger. They may have a reason for demanding that you give them that title. I'm okay with the title. I'm okay without it. And I tell everybody, I don't get upset about it. I've got the student loan to keep me mellow, so don't even worry. I don't even worry about it. But you're supposed to call people what they would like to be called. That's a form of respect. That's a form of respect.
And I think for a lot of people, especially African American women who grew up in the early part of the early baby boomers, with Martin Luther King, before, after. You have to understand it. Like for me, I went to a school that was literally almost all white except for 5 people. The high school was fine.
Wow.
The elementary school, the people were, some of those people were, I'm not even repeating some of the words they called me. I don't think I heard my name until this point, and I'm going to be real honest. And when y'all look at me, you look at my cute little face, I kicked ass. I really did. Now I'm going to be admitting I fought a lot because I was defending my life a lot of times in elementary to junior high. And then there were times that I got tired of people calling me out of my name, and I can even repeat them.
Right, I understand.
And so
you have a reason.
I came to the point where I would just beat you up. I'd give you 3 warnings, and then I'd beat you up. And that was it. Because calling me out of my name, the N-word, and I was extremely well endowed in 6th grade, using terms even by grown teachers that are grown men, calling me things that little girls shouldn't hear. It had nothing to do with my race. So I've learned to have to stand up and just say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to need you to call my name, because there's too many, as Vera said, too many triggers that take me back to those times, and I've learned to deal with those. In my medication, I don't want to be on my medication every minute because I can't stand up to people and say. And 3 people yesterday, they dropped me off Facebook because they said that I was too sensitive, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, bye. Because you know what? I don't go calling you any other name except your name or what you like, and that's it. And so, I think that with mental health, mental illness, in order to actually have a peace of mind, it's like the 12-step program. And there actually are. There's AA, and there are 12-step programs for mental health. And the one thing is you have to admit that you need God or a higher power. Okay? And I know that I know there's some people like, I don't need it. But I'm going to tell you, there's not one person that I have ever worked with or seen or met that did not admit that once they got a God or a higher power, that they start to feel that they have some control of your life. Because what you're doing is you're giving up your control to God, to a higher power, and saying, I can't do this by myself. The second thing is, the lady said, you need a support system. You need also, and this is one of the things that I tell everybody, you have to work on your mind, body, and spirit. Mind is your higher power, and your thoughts, positive thoughts, Your spirit is the spirit of God, and your body is what you have. Now, today, just a few minutes ago while I was doing the show, I had a hamburger, but I planned that hamburger in because I have been on my protein all week. I didn't have fries. I didn't have a shake. But sometimes you have to give your body what it's asking for. My body's been asking for a hamburger for 5 days, and I said no, not until Monday. Not until Monday, until we go through the process. You have to eat well, and you have to sleep. If you're not sleeping, you have a problem. Because a lot of times people can get sleep deprived, and that can cause more problems. The medication sometimes that people are on, even the natural medications, have the ability to knock our serotonin to where they want to rest. And if you're not getting the sleep, then there you go. You ladies take it away. I think I've talked enough. You guys go ahead.
No, everything you're saying is true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
I'll let Vera. Vera has some thoughts
you covered a lot of good things. That is true. Man, and the key word I think was the takeaway from that is respect. Yeah, you just have to respect what the people want to be called.
That's true.
If you do that,
true. Yeah. And so.
And you
when
know
you
what?
do that, you're also acknowledging that person as a human being. When you get to the point where you call a person anything, you're not even acknowledging them as being human. In other words, you have no worth, so I can call you what I want to call you. That means I don't think you're human. I can say what I want to say to you, and no, you cannot. No, you cannot.
It's true.
You cannot. It's common respect.
And you know what? I've talked to a lot of men, women, children, boys who have been sexually assaulted, and they'll say the one thing that really bothers them is when they're near the person that has abused them, and they continue to call them baby, honey, and show them disrespect and won't use their name because they've already devalued them. They don't want to show them value. Recognizing sometimes, especially when people are in a domestic violence relationship, sexual abuse, or say you're suffering from mental illness, people say, oh, honey, you're okay. They don't want to use your name because they're not valuing at that moment. You have a right to be upset, or you have a right to your feelings. And I think that in order to help people who are suffering from mental illness, one, we have to, as a society, stop saying, especially African Americans and Chinese, saying that we don't have a problem and we don't need help, and blaming everything on the man, because sometimes it has nothing to do with the man. It has to do with things that have occurred in your life by maybe not even the man, but other people or your own circumstances or situations. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Yes, it does. The hardest thing, I think, is just, first of all, is just, I want Vera's input on this. It's just acknowledging that I have a problem. That's the hard part.
Yep.
I have a problem. Yeah. I can't get through this by myself. And the next situation, the second thing is saying to yourself, I need help. First one is I have a problem, and the second one is I need help.
Probably the
hardest. Those are the two. If you could, those are the hardest two. The biggest two. Just getting through that.
Yeah. And a lot of it is pride, and a lot of it is people just don't know how to reach out. They will think that that's a sign of weakness if they reach out, which is not.
Right.
And that's the same. That brings us back to our topic, because it is not a sign of weakness. It is not, and a lot of people think that PTSD is, but it's not. I think it's more of a sign of weakness when you don't ask for help, because help is there.
And I think that's the key part is, you know what, sometimes people say, how come people who are on the streets or homeless, they told me they're okay being on the street and they don't want to follow the program like at Salvation Army, because they're not ready to admit they have a problem. Not everybody on the street who's homeless is on drugs, don't get me wrong, because I've met people even recently here in Nevada who they'll tell you, I don't like living at home, I don't like following the rules, I prefer living on the street. Okay, that's fine for you. That's a small sect of people. But sometimes, especially for the programs what I've seen literally front face is some people don't want to follow the program. Like, you have to account for your time. You have to sit in a group in Narcotics Anonymous and acknowledge that you have a problem. Alcoholics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous. And people say, Overeaters Anonymous? Yes, there's a place like that. Because until you can recognize you have a problem, there's nobody who can help you, not even your higher power. To turn over your life to a higher power, to say, I'm going to let you help me, is admitting you have a problem. But having a problem is not a problem. It becomes a problem and a challenge when you say, well, it's everybody else, it's not me. They just want to see, they don't want good for me, and it's not true. And sometimes that's why sometimes it's so hard for people with mental illness to, one, because especially if you're dealing with schizophrenia, that is a whole nother topic that they need. Yeah, I'm just going to say, and we'll talk about that at a different time, because I have had requests to talk about that, about schizophrenia, is that they have to be hospitalized and medicated and detoxed in order to get to what's going on. That is something that will stay with them, just like other mental illnesses, but it's not going to make them, because there are high-functioning schizophrenics and there are high-functioning bipolar. But again, you have to be able to get help. You can't, and you have to be able to be honest with your doctor or with your psychiatrist or nurse practitioner to tell the truth about what's going on with you. Because if you don't, then they can't really help you. And sometimes that's why medication can be wrong, because people will downplay symptoms and won't tell, and then they'll start, and then they get overwhelmed because the medicine may be helping, may not, but they haven't told the doctor the whole symptom. So that's another thing. Sometimes you just have to be blunt force honest. Take a support system with you to your appointments, and one of the other things is exercise. If you're, and I know people are like, I don't want to do exercise. I already have enough going on. Even if you sit on the side of your bed and raise your leg 50 times and do 20 sit-ups and 20 push-ups, you're giving your body a release. Sometimes, with all the best medicine that there is, if you're not taking care of your body and you're not eating and sleeping right, and I know I've said that before early in a conversation, if you're not doing those things, you're not helping yourself. Your medication will not work if you stay up all night or you go on these binges, which we know that there can with bipolar, even with depression and everything, but you have to take care of yourself, and you have to be willing to, and this is one of the things that people ask me why I travel so much or I just get in a car and drive, because I know myself. I know when I'm at my moment where I'm just done with everything, I'm done with everybody. I don't want to hear the noise that's going on in my house, and it could be good noise. I know I need a peace of mind, and a lot of times I'll get in my car, put on music, and I'll drive. Las Vegas is 205 miles round trip. I'll drive around and around to different places, see different things, drive up to Utah, because it gives me a peace of mind and I can refocus. And that's what you have to do. You have to find what works for you, whether it's art therapy, whether it's, anything that works for you, reading books, it's, playing music, making songs, journaling, whatever works for you. But with that being said, we're coming to the end of Rolling with the Divas. So Dr. Linda and Miss Vera, why don't you guys leave us out with some closing words, and we'll end the show.
Okay. I just want to say I'm grateful that my friend came on with me today. And please know that if you are mentally ill or you have a family member who is mentally ill, you can get help. There are so many resources online. There are so many 1-800 numbers. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of talking from a friend, maybe in private family event. And sometimes the people that you see that are acting out at those family events, they need help. Some people really do need help. When the same person at the family is causing all the conflict in the family year-round, there's something going on with that person. So that's another, tidbit of information. But I'm grateful that Vera has all this knowledge too. 30 years in the military is a long time, so she has seen a lot. So thank you for having me, Sabrina. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say that if you are suffering from PTSD, that please find get in contact. First off, call 911 immediately if you even have symptoms that we talked about earlier. But also, please contact your Department of Veteran Affairs, and they will make sure that you get to the closest and the nearest Veterans Administration hospital, and they will treat you, and they have the right people there, the right doctors, the right psychologists, and all of those folks that there for your interest in first. Their sole job is to support the vets. And just unfortunately, post-traumatic stress disorder is really high among vets. But I'm hoping that we will, this show and other shows like this show will bring more awareness, and it would encourage people to go seek help. And it's nothing to be ashamed about.
Amen.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Dr. Linda. Thank you, Ms. Vera, for coming on. Ms. Vera, hats off to you for 30 years to the military. Wow, that's like a commitment to being married. Amazing. Why did you stay in? If I may ask, why did you stay in so long?
Well, at first I came in just to do actually 20 years because that was, I was committed. I was going to do 20 years. And then, after probably about year 7, 8, I really enjoyed what I was doing. I liked serving and serving to people. And it was a higher calling that I didn't realize that was really on my life. And I stayed, and then, the war came about, and Desert Storm, and then the Gulf War came about. And I just stayed, and there were soldiers that needed training, and needed my leadership, and I needed leaders. I needed other leaders' leadership. So I thought by staying in and working together that not only would it help me, but my intent was to help someone else so they could be great leaders too. So that's the main reason. I love soldiers, and I love serving my country. I really did.
Wow, well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Today, with you guys' knowledge and everything, it made it for a better show because with that kind of experience, I don't care who you are or what you know, or if you have a doctorate or whatever, the experience of firsthand account of 30 years is valuable and necessary so that you can speak to that. There's nothing I could have said that would have said that I knew that much because I don't. We can always learn. That's an amazing. I thank you both and Dr. Linda for you guys coming on. And I will, if you guys have topics or you guys want to think of other topics, please, because I got a lot of feedback on the panels and people really do like them. And it's easy listening. And just thank you again for coming on. And I hope that you guys have a blessed week and just keep writing and keep doing what you guys do because you're amazing. I appreciate you guys a lot.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. That's Rolling with the Diva.
Okay.
This is Monday, July 3rd, and Sabrina Williams, your host. We had on Miss Vera and Dr. Linda, and we were talking about mental health, PTSD, and how that can actually. Oh, hold on. We have another call. Hold on. And that poor person was probably holding on hold on time. Hi.
Okay.
Who's 817-219?
This is Cheryl Grace.
Cheryl.
What?
Girl, how long have you been on hold?
Only a few minutes.
Okay. You know what? Cheryl, Dr. Linda, Dr. Vera, meet Cheryl Grace. She's another wonderful.
Those are my friends.
I know. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm done. You know what? I'm done. No Christmas cookies for you.
That's right. And she is a mental health counselor.
That's
right. Social work.
Oh.
That's why she was probably listening to us and smiling. Like,
yes, I was. Y'all was doing very good.
Okay. So, Miss Cheryl, great lady. Love you. You know what? What do you have to add into that? We're not going to end the show because you know me. I want to hear what do you have to say.
I work primarily in corrections, and it's a shame that a lot of times people do not get help until they come to jail. And I also see a lot of veterans that come to jail because a lot of times they are homeless, and they are struggling with mental illness as well. And we have to see them and address their needs in jail as well. So a lot of people do not realize when President Reagan passed some laws that got rid of long-term hospital institutionalization for psychiatric patients. A lot of what ended up happening is that the jail and the prison ended up filling the void for those people. Because a lot of those folks did not have, and they don't have no support system. They don't have any, they don't have anyone out there. And once they just keep going, coming in and out of jail because they're homeless. They don't have any support system, so they just go right back out to the street. Somebody calls the police on when the police goes and harass them and brings them back to jail. And a lot of times the same old charges, criminal trespassing. And I think we do mentally ill a disservice by doing it because a lot of these people are veterans. A lot of them are people that had a life at some point. There is some drug use, a good bit of it, but a lot of it is just mainly mental illness that needs to be treated and stabilized.
Wow. And you know what?
Yep.
That's funny that you say that, Miss Cheryl Grace. I can't believe that I didn't. My phone is actually kicking me off the phone again. Thank God that Dr. Linda and Miss Vera know how to roll with that kind of stuff. I didn't even think they knew I was gone. It kicked me out, but they were still talking. So I was going to say earlier, I did a show last week with Christy, and we were talking about Oklahoma because right now Oklahoma has the highest prison rate for men and women in the United States, but a lot of those people are mental health. So we were talking about maybe doing another show and a panel. So I suggest that we all four talk and come up with a date to do that panel because I think we need to come up with some solutions and that we can send to our senators on that show on how are our veterans, they go to prison, which sometimes is the 3 meals and a cot that they're looking for. And how do we resolve that situation? And how do we get back the mental health, those laws back into place? Because right now it's out of control. It really is.
They are. I agree. I would love to do that.
Yes. So, Miss Sabrina, I don't know. Any Monday, everyone? Is that okay?
Any Monday, yeah, this works fine. This is fine.
Yeah, Monday.
This is a good time for us.
Okay, how about Monday in 2 weeks?
Okay,
yeah,
that
should be
will
okay.
Monday.
Yeah.
That's good.
Walk it down, Dr. Linda.
It would be
Monday in 2 weeks it'll be the 13th. Is that right?
No. Then we'll do it. Let's do it. Can you guys do next week?
Next Monday.
Next
Monday.
We're
going to be just getting back in town, so y'all what y'all going to do the following Monday?
Right. We'll
probably have to do it.
Want to do it August 20th? Want to do it August 20th?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a little better.
August 20th is better.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be a week after.
Yeah, we'll be just getting back from Atlanta. All three of us on a book conference. So.
I'm mad at y'all, and I'm not going. I'm mad at y'all. I'm done. I'm done already. I just mad. I'm not talking to nobody until August 20th. If you guys don't bring me a T-shirt back, I need a large, please.
Okay. This
really?
is good. We'll continue the conversation if needed.
Yes,
we have a lot going on now. We have a lot going on in the country. We really
and you
do.
know what? And you guys can share about Atlanta. And yes, people, this is what we do. We plan shows on the radio even when we're talking because we know you guys cared. I think that's what we care about y'all.
That's right.
These ladies are just going to be our permanent guests on here. They're no longer guests. They're just co-hosts because they just always. I don't even know. I can't believe that I didn't realize that Cheryl knew you guys. I'm done already. Cheryl, get off the phone.
Yeah. I'll tell the truth. I told her to call the other day. I said, you got to call in. This is what you do for a living. You got to call in. So and I knew Vera would be with all her experience in the military. With PTSD. And so
so we're all gonna I'm gonna send out an email to us, and we're all gonna bring it to town. And on August 20th, you guys have a great day. Cheryl, I'm gonna send you a little face now because you know what? I didn't know you know Dr. Linda and Miss Vera. I thought they were all mine, like seriously mine. Like they. Oh my God.
We're in the same authors group. We have an authors group here in the Metroplex, and so we're all authors. We meet. We're on the same group. Yes.
That's awesome, you guys. I'm so proud of you. I did actually, you guys. I want you to know I sent Dr. Linda my little story and she's going to give me some input on it because I'm a little struggling right there. So, Dr. Linda, don't make fun of my little story, but give me some input where to go.
Okay,
so,
I will.
You guys
so we want to know when you're going to be on our radio show, Sabrina. When are you going to do that?
When I'm going to do what?
When are you going to be on the Authors Lounge radio show?
I don't know. You guys bring me on. You know
See there,
what?
she forgot we had a radio show. She forgot.
Oh, she forgot. Yeah. She's having. I understand. She had a lot going on. But I'm just going to remind her. Dr. Linda and I have a award-winning radio show.
You know what?
You remember?
Sure. You guys need to give me the link to this because you guys know I'm Mrs. Sharing Fool on the internet. I mean, and Cheryl, I need anything you have too because you know I love sharing everybody's things. Some people say, do you just sit around networking with people? I just like posting people's stuff out there. And, I'll come on your radio show. I definitely will because I'm going to tell you, guys, I'm very excited because every time an author comes on, I just get more motivated to write and write. I've been writing and writing. Now I'm just putting pages together, and now I got to choose a publisher. I got to pray about and choose a publisher. That's what I need to do because that's the big thing for me. So you guys
have all the information that you need on that too. All three of us can talk to you about that. We've been down the highway on that one. Yes, we have.
We have.
I'm like, and actually, you know what? Guess what? We can do a show on that because I have 3 other people that are writers that want to know because they don't know how we approach a publisher or what we do or anything. So if we could do a show on that, that would be really, really great.
Oh, we can do that.
We can do that.
I mean, seriously, because I have no clue. Some people are asking me. I had a blind author on there. She the last week she does her own publishing, but some people were asking me, where do you go? How do you find her? What do you do? I don't even know. And I tell people I have no clue, but I'll find out the answer. So you guys are my lovely 3 friends. Okay, so here's this. You guys are my lovely 3. Wait for it. My lovely 3 sisters. See, now I did it. Because we are on a different level. Now, see, you guys can be sister now, but anybody else are going to get that lecture and that letter out again. I'm just telling you, people need to leave me alone until they're in that level. I'm just saying. And I don't, Cheryl, are you back there laughing at me? Because, she's like, I'm going to get her. So, but I was just saying, it's a long time.
I'm not. That was me.
Well, Sabrina, Cheryl needs to come back onto your show alone and discuss her new book. She has a new book.
Oh, Cheryl, Cheryl, do you really?
Yes, I do. I have a new novel. Just got released.
Okay, so Dr. Linda and Miss Vera knew, but I didn't know. Okay, you know what? If you want some oatmeal raisin cookies for Christmas, you better cough up the information. You need to message me.
I prefer chocolate chip with pecan, but okay, I can still give you the information.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it so we'll know what the book is?
Yes, I would love to. The name of my new book is called King, Duke, and Prince, and it's about 3 half-brothers with different mothers and the same dad. And these brothers were raised just primarily by female figures, and their dad was in prison. But what they don't realize is that the dad has gotten out of prison earlier than was expected, and he's now reinvented himself as a best-selling author and motivational speaker, and he has a new family.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're going to get into how it was with them trying to be a man without a father figure and some of the decisions their mom made to kind of help them that really wanted good decisions and just talk about some of the issues that they're dealing with. And eventually when they find out who he is, then they confront him.
Wow.
Yep.
Family dynamics, Sabrina. Family dynamics.
Yep.
It happens.
You guys, that sounds a lot like my dad starting up a new family and really?
See?
Really?
It happens. It's relatable. It's relatable.
It happens. Yeah.
People do it all the time.
Yeah. And, just leaving the poor little kids out there, but you starting up a new family doing well. And then, see, I go snatch a knot up on his head, okay? Let me stop already. Let me just leave him be. So you can sell it. I'm getting that book because I'm just done. I can't even can't even relate to him right now. I'm just mad that emotion. See triggers.
Yes,
like
triggers. We talked about triggers a few minutes ago.
We talked about triggers emotion. That's kind of where I just did it from a male perspective, because a lot of times you don't really understand. You don't think about how men think, and for some reason, I really had to kind of deal with. I was sharing with Dr. Linda. I had to really think about things from a male perspective. I had to give these three guys three personalities, and then I had to I asked some men to read some of what I had written to make sure that I was, that what I had written was, was valid. And they both gave me good feedback. One of the guys said it was really scary the way that I wrote that I really was. It was on point with what I was saying about how the guys were thinking and how they were talking. So.
Wow. All right, ladies. I think I'm going to start us a little messenger group because we're always together. So whoever does it first before I get home, if not, I'll do it. But I'm so glad. I love you guys, ladies, and thank you for being my earthly sisters. I am glad that I can actually say that, and I said it's for who I want to be my earthly sisters, and I really appreciate you guys. And my show is actually, I'm going to tell you guys, when I looked at my numbers for the shows that you guys been on and people messaging me and talking to me about the dyslexia and the other shows we've done, the people are very happy, so I really appreciate you. My show is only as great as the guests that I have on, and I really, really appreciate you all and love you guys much for that. You guys have a great week, and then I'll see you guys on August 20th, and then I'll make our little group. Because you guys be going places. Maybe I just need to get in the plane and carry the suitcases so I can just be included.
Okay.
People,
okay.
Well, we love you too, Sabrina. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I hear music and everything.